Welcome back to Level Up with Lori, where I talk a little bit about life, a little bit about business, and every single thing in between, where I share strategy and where I hope to shift your perspective and the way that you show up in the world. Because at the end of the day, what I really truly believe the world needs more of is the magic that every single one of us has inside of us. So sit back, relax, enjoy the episode, and I will see you on the other side. Hey, you guys, welcome back to Level Up with Lori. I'm so incredibly excited that you're here this week. It is another week inside of our leadership series. You guys are gonna love this episode. Today, I'm hopping on with Jenny Parmer. If you want to find her on Instagram, I actually forgot to give you her handle inside the episode, but I talked a lot in the episode with her about the content that she does create on the socials. So I think in order to get the full experience, you're going to want to go over to Instagram and follow her at Jenny Parmer, JeniParmer, because she really does bring herself into her content in a way that you don't see in everybody's kind of network marketing content. So I highly recommend, and we're gonna go through her story. And the part that I love about her story is she's kind of an overnight success in the terms of building her team and really skyrocketing in her company. And yet she has a long kind of story in the network marketing industry, in that she didn't sign up for her company in order to build a business at all. She really signed up for the health benefits and went on her own journey with the products, and almost kind of built her social media following before she even launched her business, simply by sharing her story. And I think what I really want you to take away from this episode, first, obviously, that everything is possible for you, that you can reach for the stars, and that you don't need a lot to find that success. That success is really a compound effect of all the little things that you do, but also that your story is going to be more powerful than any other strategy that you can use, because your story isn't a strategy, right? It's something unique to you. It's something really personal to you. And the products, where it doesn't matter what kind of products that you're selling, whether they're consumables, whether you're selling jewelry or clothing, whatever, your products, like, they matter to you, right? And they matter to your story, and they show up inside of your life over and over and over again. And the more you can bring people into that, the more powerful your social media presence is going to be. And one of the things that Jenny talks about that I really love is that she just kept saying, I'm here because I care. I want to help people. And I think when we can, I think that's a really powerful piece, right? Is that she truly believes in the products that she's selling. And her purpose is not to skyrocket her business. Her purpose is to change as many lives as she can possibly change in the way that her life has been changed. Okay. And when you can really scale back and you can really dive deep into your own purpose, I think what you're going to uncover is a story that no one else can replicate. Right? Okay. You guys, this is something for those of you inside the Level Up Academy. This is something that I plan on really going deep with you on. And I have a kind of purpose program in the works, and I'm really excited to launch that for you. So stay tuned for that. If you're not in the Level Up Academy, I don't know what you're waiting for, but anyways, you guys, enjoy this episode. I think you're going to love her energy as much as I loved kind of connecting with her. And again, if you want to follow her over on the socials, it's Jenny Parmer, JeniParmer. And as always, if you love this episode, share it on the socials, tag me, I will give you some love back, or head over to the podcast, leave a 5-star review. I will love you forever. And if you are binging episodes, I will see you over in the next episode. All right, you guys, I'm here with Jennifer Parmer. So excited for this conversation. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Oh, me too. And you guys, you should know that Jennifer barely know each other. This is one of the very first times that we're talking, but we were introduced by a mutual friend who told me that I absolutely needed to chat with her, learn more about her. And I've been like on pins and needles for this conversation. I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's like just get right into it. Tell us all of the things about your story. Like, tell us, you are with Plexus, right?
I am with Plexus. I've been with them for 4 years now. And
Amazing. Is this your first network marketing company?
I actually did one back in 2015 with jewelry.
Okay.
And I did that for a few years, and it was kind of like dipping my toes in the water, right? It was really, really fun, really, really exciting. But life was busy, and so it kind of took I got really, really busy, and then I kind of walked away from it a little bit, and then just went along. And so about 4 years ago, I had actually been really, really sick. And my friend had reached out to me, telling me about these products that had helped her with her health issues. So I actually turned her down twice before I got really, really sick back in 2018. And I reached out to her and said, okay, I'm ready. And at the time I didn't really, sharing it wasn't really in my cards. I just wanted to get better. So I did that, and I was using the products for a few years and was doing really, really well. And then, so a little bit about me. I was a nurse for 17 years. Mm-hmm. And then my husband went away in the oil fields in North Dakota, and I was pregnant with our youngest and was working full time, and decided that this was not doable right now with 3 kids at home and whatnot. So I opened up a home daycare. I did that for 9 years. And that's kind of when my health was starting to kind of go downhill a little bit. And when I quit my daycare, I actually, my husband and I were youth pastors at a church. And I had met this amazing lady through our church who was looking for a nanny. And so through her, I met our friend. And so sorry if I'm going a little bit off topic here. My mind goes everywhere.
No, that's the way I work.
Yeah. So kind of fast forward. So I worked with this family for a couple years, and then they actually gave me the opportunity to move away. So I actually moved 5 hours away from home, and was commuting back and forth on the weekends. So I was living in Midland, my family was in Chatham, and it really, it started to take a turn on me again. And then when it came to time to decide to come home is when I was like, okay, what am I going to do? What job am I going to have? Where am I going to go? I'm starting from scratch again. I'm 47 years old. What's going to happen? So again, I was still taking the products. I wasn't really consistent with them because again, my life got super, super busy. And so I reached out to my friend, my ambassador, Carol, and she was like, okay, what do you need? Let's get you back on track again. And so I said to her, I'm like, okay, I said, I'm coming home. Let's do this. Well, when I came back to Chatham, I got another job as a nanny right away, and I absolutely loved it. And so I kind of put it on the back burner again. And so in October of last year, I was like, okay, I'm ready to share my story. And so I did.
Assuming by this time you had gotten more consistent with using the products?
Yes. So actually last May is when all this kind of started to happen. That's when I reached out to her and I said, okay, I'm ready to do this. So I started sharing my story back in September of last year. And it just kind of fell in my lap, I guess. I had been documenting my journey over the past couple of years, just with my health and how I was going for walks every day up in Midland and just trying to get into a better place. and sharing that with people. So I did a lot of reels. I did a lot of live Instagrams and
And just
Facebooks.
all from a really genuine place of sharing your journey.
Yes. When I look back at those videos now, I'm like, oh my gosh, what were you thinking?
But I love that because that's what people like relate to, right? It was just the human in them.
Yeah, it literally started with me sharing my black coffee on the back deck. I was like, okay, I'm doing this for me. That's how it all started. Drinking my black coffee on the back deck.
You were social selling before you were social selling.
I was. So when I shared my story, I just started getting messages left and right. People were like, I've been following you. Tell me more about these products. And so like I started sharing with like my close friends, you know, they were struggling and they actually came to me and were saying, okay, Jen, you know, can you help? Or can these help me? So I was like, okay, let's do this. So again, they started using the products and they started seeing the changes in their lives, not only just health wise, but like just feeling better all around. And so they started sharing. And then when they started sharing, it was like, it just exploded. So, yeah, I
them how to share. Did you kind of just say, hey, this is what I did, and kind of gave them like,
well, we do have systems in place, which I'm so grateful for my ambassador and my team. We have people all over the place. My ambassador is from Amherstburg, Ontario, but our upline is in Utah. And so they had really amazing systems in place for us to use already. And so it was just basically duplicating that. And it was just sharing okay, so like a lot of people are like, I can't do this. You know, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. And I'm like, neither did I. You know, neither did I. So it was really just giving them that encouragement and just being able to say, you know what, you can do this.
yeah.
So it was like, you know, and I remember one of my very, very good friends, and, you know, she's coming up the ladder with me right now. And she said to me, I don't want to post a picture. I don't want people to know my story. And so she hemmed and hawed for a few weeks. And then finally she did it. And it was like, boom, you know, it was.
How did she come to that place where she was willing to? Because this is, I think, something a lot of people struggle with, is that it feels really vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, and she even said to me, she's like, I don't know why it was so hard for me to do this. And I said to her, for me, it was like, I couldn't keep this a secret. This was something that I knew was going to help other people. And it wasn't about me. It was really about reaching out to those people who were suffering. And that's basically what it is. I mean, it's not just me selling a product. It's me really caring about the other person and wanting to see them succeed in their health, in their happiness, you know, in whatever journey it is that they're on. And that's kind of like the mindset that we've kind of established, is that, you know, it's not about us, it's about helping people. And, you know, and when she did that, it was almost like freeing, you know what I mean? It really was.
It's very heavy to carry around the fear of other people's judgment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And especially when you're starting the products and, you know, many people think it is a weight loss product, and, you know, it does help. But it really is a product that focuses on gut health. And so, you know, a lot of people go into it saying, well, I don't want to share because I haven't lost 50 pounds, you know? And so it was like getting past that mindset is like, you know, this is not about weight loss. It really is about, you know, reaching out to people and helping them with their health goals. So yeah. So I through my year up in Midland, it just so happened that the people that I worked for, she was a mindset coach.
Wow.
And so
talk about the universe, like lining everything up.
Right. So I am an introvert, and I have been so scared.
My podcast, I must be like attracted to fellow introverts.
I honestly, I just didn't think I had it in me. Right. So I was just like always that fear. And so one of the first things that I did was I did some mindset work. I did her program, I did a purpose program, and then I did another program. And that really, really got me out of my comfort zone and really gave me a purpose. Because I really didn't feel like I was just missing something. I was missing something more, and I didn't know what it was. And I loved being a nanny, but there was just something more that I felt that I was being called to.
I love that. I'm writing it down.
Yeah. So, so yeah, I did that, and I set a goal for myself to get to Emerald, which is the third highest rank in the company, by September of this year. I did it in 5 months. So
what is okay, everybody on the other side is like, all right, well, like, what's the secret to this explosive like growth in leadership?
I think it's just sharing. It's just really sharing, and it's consistency.
Well, and what I'm hearing is like that this product was so woven into the life that you were like living that it was you, right? And I think sometimes that's the piece that people are missing on social media, is that it's got to feel like you, right? And you had already built that trust because you had been sharing pieces of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, when I say it happened in 5 months, it didn't really happen in 5 months. It was a process. But that's when my team really, really kind of exploded. And again, I had a lot of nurses on my team who, who again, their hearts are just to serve other people and to see other people be happy and healthy. So that was one of the main things that, was kind of like, it's the community, right?
Yeah.
So that was something that really helped.
So your baptism into leadership, like, tell us about that. Did it feel overwhelming in the beginning? Were there certain things that you learned along the way that you could give kind of advice for new emerging leaders?
Absolutely. I think one of the things for me is that I had to get out of my own way. There was a lot of roadblocks that I was like, okay, so I don't know how to do this. So I can't do it. Right. Yeah. And it was like really looking deep and following the leaders that are above me and really just being inspired by them and just continuing to grow. I mean, listening to podcasts and, talking to my upline and just being, just having a sense of community really helped me. And my team is amazing because they're like, Jen, you can do it. You're doing amazing. And they were always encouraging me because I was always so hard on myself. It was like, oh, and they're like, you're doing amazing.
Like you shared your fears of leadership with them, which I think is a really important piece. I think sometimes we tell ourselves we have to be perfect in order to be leaders, right? And we can't let anybody else see us falter. But the more human you can be with your team as well, shows them that they can do it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're all growing together.
Yeah.
Like they've all like within their first 3 months have triple ranked, wow. So it's like the team has really just kind of taken off. And I think it is that sense of unity and just being there to help each other. We have a saying, it's called one plexus. So, I have one mom on my team who just had twins. And so, she's a nurse. And so she's busy with these babes. So we're all there to help her when she needs, help signing someone up or help someone give them their, like just things like that. So that's been really good.
I love that. Are there any other kind of pieces of advice that because I just feel like this has happened really, really quickly for you.
It has. It has. So, I mean, I went to our leaders retreat in Florida in January, and it was just wild because my upline, my diamond ambassador who is in Utah, just happened to have an extra ticket to the gala for the top of the company. She said, Jen, I want you to come with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. So I got to meet all the diamonds and I was just so inspired by them. And, they're all like, you're going to be a jewel. You're going to be a jewel. And I'm like, I'm a jewel. I'm an emerald, And so it's really given me that oomph to just keep going, to just keep building up my team and just keep pressing forward because, and like I said, just being consistent because a lot of people will go through a slump and they'll stop.
Well,
And
and you
then,
even showed that you had like that with the company that wasn't, maybe it was the timing, maybe it was the company, whatever it was.
mhm.
You kind of were in and out for a little while too, and how long it took you. Like imagine your leader, how long, like we should actually tell everybody not to give up on anyone because you never know.
That's just it. And when I did sign up, or not sign up, when I did share my story, she's like, "Oh, Jen," she says, "I've been waiting for this." She's like, I knew you had it." And it made her heart just open up. And we've built an amazing friendship over the years. And it's just been so great.
All of the posts that like I've now been in your world for a couple weeks, and there's a difference in the voice that you use compared to a lot of other people that are just kind of entering social media. And I think the difference in the voice is that you really are coming from that really personal place. And there's a
Mhm.
really nice like weave of information and education in your posts, but then also personal experience, which I think with a product like Plexus is absolutely essential. But I bet you a lot of people struggle with content. Can you give any tips on like you're sitting there with your coffee in the morning. How are you deciding what part of my story am I sharing today?
One of the things I get asked this all the time.
I bet
And
because honestly, your content is incredible
well,
and
thank
it
you.
touches you. Like it really does.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've spent a lot of time dancing in my living room, in front of my
Yes,
ring
that's why
light.
I like you.
And I've really, that's just, I think for me, because I'm so shy outside, when I'm in my own personal space, I'm able to just be the crazy Jen that everyone else sees, right? And so for me, when I'm sitting in bed at night and I'm going through reels, a lot of the reels that I watch, a lot of the people that I watch are all uplifting. They're all people, they're not all plexus related. They may be, hair, makeup, whatever. And
Mhm.
I guess I just get inspired by them,
Mhm.
and I just follow the lead, I guess. I don't know. And we do have an amazing community in our Plexus family, and we kind of feed off of each other. We really do. So it's like, we all want to know more. We all want to do better. We all want to just get the word out on how these products work. And so it's really just, it's just doing the research, I guess, like just looking at those reels and just seeing what speaks out to my heart. And yeah, I love to get information on products in order to share with people as well. Like we did information, we did a Zoom a while back about different products, and we each had a role to do on a specific product. So that really excited me, because I was like, oh, I have this nursing background, and I feel like I'm still being able to serve, and I'm still being able to help. So yeah, I kind of went off topic there. Sorry.
No, I like it. I love off topic. I was going to ask you, how do you lead your team? Like, is it a Facebook group? Do you have conversations? Like, I would think for a really growing quickly team, you must have had to put some things in place to make that manageable for yourself.
Yeah, so we have our main Facebook group, our main Facebook page, and then I also have a Facebook chat, like a messenger chat. It's called Rising Jewels, and this is where all of my leaders are, and we talk and chat there every day. Whenever I find like a good Zoom video or YouTube or podcast or any type of information that I find out, it goes in there. And
Mhm.
whenever we have a problem, if somebody, is stuck with a question, we're always there. It's a great community. And then we also have people will come to my house and we'll kind of do our mapping. We all have our own goals, and we all try to really push each other to reach those goals. So like, one of the things that I love to do right off the bat when I have somebody sign up is I don't want them to pay for their products.
Mhm.
So I will have them share right off the bat. And that's a scary thing. But it's
Mhm.
when they do that is when that comfort is like, it empowers them. It really
Mhm.
does. And when people say, oh,
And they see that it's not as painful as they thought that it might be.
it's not. And what I do is I have a post and I say, okay, here you go. You know, it's not salesy. There's nothing salesy about it. It's really sharing from your heart. And, you know, like even when people don't even have the products yet, you know, I'm telling them, share why are you doing this? You know, I can't sleep. I have pain. I have all this stuff. So this is why I'm doing this. Who wants to come with me?
Mhm.
You know, so that's where it was like developing silvers is one of the ones, the things that I love doing is just helping people get out of their comfort zone and start building up.
Mhm.
I actually earned the Canadian Silver Star Award. So I have a trip coming up in Arizona for 3 days,
That's incredible.
like a spa. Yeah. So that's, I lost my train of thought.
No, that's amazing. Like, and do you encourage them? Like, how do you encourage them to be themselves in the posts? To like lace
Well,
their story into it.
I really, when you're sharing these products, it has to come from your heart. You know,
Because I would think that it would almost fall into all of the MLMs like things that people feel like it's just generic.
yeah. So it's like, especially when people are on the products for usually, you know, I say 90 days, give it 90 days. And this is when the magic starts to happen. And when people find that, they want to share it. They want to say, okay, I did this and, you know, I like, stop suffering, guys. That's what it is. It's just, you don't want to see people out there. You don't want to see them going through all the things that they're going. So it's just like reaching out with my heart, reaching out. They all reach out with their heart. It's all,
They be a human.
yes, yes,
It's kind of
absolutely.
this interesting thing that many people have forgotten in the online space, though, is how to be human.
Right. Right. Oh gosh, I've cried to them. You know, they've seen me at my worst, honestly. And it's family. It really is. It's
That's
just
the best
family
kind of
now.
leader, though, I think, is the kind of leader that gets into the trenches with you, shares their experience, tells you what's working for them and, you know, what isn't working for them, or et cetera,
Mhm.
et cetera.
I think one of the things too is that I have a lot of older people on my team as well
Mhm,
who don't have Facebook, who are not tech savvy.
mhm.
So, I mean, I have actually had several of them just come to my house for a few hours and we've just sat down and we've gone from point A to point B and just kind of worked through their struggles, show them how to, you know, to work the Facebook and to do the chats. And, you know, a lot of them didn't even know how to start a three-way chat. And three-way chats is one of our main things. And that's where, again, community is just, is really, really huge because as soon as we get somebody who's interested, I'm already involved in that conversation.
Yeah, so you're kind of facilitating or helping or answering questions inside that conversation.
Right, right.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And I would think that that gives your downlines the confidence to feel like they don't need to know everything.
absolutely. And when they get to the point where they're ready to do it on their own and they don't need those three-way chats, that's when they are starting to share with their downline. Okay, let's start a three-way chat, but they are the ones that are taking charge. So it's kind of like passing on the torch to,
Yes.
you
What I
know,
hear is modeling the behavior.
yes,
Big
yeah,
takeaway.
yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so I have to ask you the question that I ask everybody. Do you have a favorite podcast or book or any other resource that you would recommend to anybody who loves personal and business development?
So like I know that for me, my coaches are all John Maxwell coaches, and I really find that listening to him has been super, super helpful with me. One of the books that I'm reading right now is The Big Leap, and this is where something that it's like I've gone through, like reading this book, I've gone through so many of the issues that they bring up in that book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is just it's mind blowing. So that definitely that book, and then the other one is No Excuses: The Power of Discipline. So that was something that is with Brian Tracy.
Okay, that's
So
a new
this
one.
is something, this is something that I read a while back when I was actually working as a nanny, because again, personal development was something that I had to, it was part of the job, right? So just a lot of personal development.
What is no excuses all about? Just the power of consistency?
The power of discipline, self-discipline. So like I said, I'm an introvert, but I also, I'm self-diagnosed ADHD. So I'm kind of like everywhere. So time management has been really hard for me too. And just being able to make the decisions that I've had to make, as far as, quitting my job as a nanny and doing this full time. It's just that discipline in every aspect of my life, really. It's waking up that hour earlier. It's doing my daily declarations. It's faith is huge in our family, and in everything that we do. And so that really helped me just kind of get a handle on things.
And I think when you can find that level of discipline, you almost teach yourself that you can trust yourself in order to do the next thing, right? Like, I think when you continue to cut out on yourself, you almost teach yourself to distrust your ability to go for goals or achievements.
Yeah. So like back so I just quit my job, my full-time job, in April. So I was working, thank you. I was working as the nanny, and I was running my business up until April. And that's when it was like, I had to make the decision for my team. Do I continue on working full time, trying to, juggle both? And then it really came down to that decision of, okay, this is my next step. Like, this is my next step.
Faith, absolute
That's
faith.
what it is, the leap of faith. And that's just been huge. And I honestly believe that it's just my entire journey, right? So quit my job in April, ranked up to Emerald, got a Lexus, got a trip to Hawaii. It's just been, honestly, when people have that self-doubt, I really just, I can see it, everybody has that in them, and they just have to believe in themselves.
Yeah. They just have to almost prove with little things, right? If you can get up an hour earlier every single day and do X, Y, Z, then you can do anything.
Yeah.
Anything. But absolutely. You have to be able to, I always tell women that I'm working with, like, it's not fun for the first couple of weeks to get up earlier, right? Like,
that's right.
It's not going to be easy, but eventually your body will be like, okay, I got to go to bed earlier. And you do. And eventually it becomes, I think, your favorite part of the day.
It does. And the other thing is, like, I wake up and I make my bed, and it's like, okay, that's my first task of the day. And that's something that I struggled with before. I never made my bed. So it's just like little things like that you just start off little, and those little things compound, right?
It's a massive compound effect. All of the little things that you do, and it's both ways. All of the little things that you do and all the things that you don't do compound to manifest the life that you're living.
Yeah. And I really had to stop the negative talk in my head. Like the you can't do this, or you're not good enough, or you don't know how to be a leader, or it's getting too big.
Ourselves. Imagine talking to somebody face to face the way that we talk to ourselves in our heads.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would never say half of the things.
Yeah. It's been really nice too to see, like, we have daughters, we have sons and daughters, but it's just to see them grow with this as well, being more confident, and just seeing that mom can do it. Mom can do it. Mom, I came from a pretty hard place, and to be where I'm at now, and to do it with a smile, and to just keep wanting to do more, to help more. Like, that's my whole goal, is just to be able to help others. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I feel like it's like the very, very perfect place to end, because it was the most beautiful line.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for doing this with me. I am so appreciative of your time. And I know that this episode's going to be well loved.
Thank you so much. And I can't wait to meet you.
I know, exactly, right?
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.